Good morning and welcome to our webinar today entitled Optimize Production Planning with DELMIA Ortems. Today's webinar will be presented by myself, Nicolas Bilski, Key Account Manager at Zenith, Florent Boyer, Pre-Sales Consultant at Zenith, and from our partner GXP Consulting, Sasha Mijalovic, Managing Director, and Mathieu Beck, Managing Partners. Florent will provide a demonstration in a few minutes. All attendees are muted. For any question, please use the chat function on GoToWebinar. Our agenda today is as follows. A short presentation of companies, Zenith, GXP Consulting, and Dassault Systèmes. Our partner GXP will explain industry challenges in biotech and pharma, especially for production planning. After a demonstration will follow. We will finish with a summary describing benefit, saving, and some references. There will be a recording and a link to replay webinar will be sent to all attendees. Zenith, your partner for successful digital transformation. Zenith is a global company founded in Stuttgart, Germany in 1988. A decade later, in 1998, Zenith went public on the Germany Stock Exchange. Zenith has today expanded to many countries across Europe, Asia, and North America, with around 750 employees worldwide. Our Swiss headquarters is established in Efretikon in Zurich Canton, and we have another office in Yverdon-les-Bains. For 2019, our worldwide revenue was 172 million euros. Zenith is continuing to expand year on year, both organically and through a number of strategic acquisitions, including companies such as Keonis in France and Choristo. Zenith has several partnerships with software companies, IBM, SAP, and Dassault Systèmes. Our demonstration today is based on Dassault Systèmes portfolio, and I will present shortly the software editor Dassault Systèmes. The Dassault Systèmes history. Industry would not be what it is today without Dassault Systèmes contribution. Dassault Systèmes have been the catalyst and the enabler of the world's greatest industrial transformations. Every decade, DF has helped manufacturers to disrupt how products are designed and made and to rethink their whole development and production methods. We are into the fourth stage of DS history, entering the fifth stage in the very near future. The first stage was the 3D design to represent the surface of things. And the main transformation was high performance innovation achieved with right the first time. The second stage was 3D digital mock-up to represent entire complex system outside and inside. The main transformation was collaborative innovation. The first stage was 3D product lifecycle management to represent time. The transformation was innovation at every stage in the value chain. The fourth stage is 3D experience to represent perception and emotion. The main transformation is innovation by and for the consumer citizen. In the near future, we will enter in the fifth stage of this journey, moving from the representation of things to life. Imagine being able to model, test, and cure a human body as well as we do with a plane or a car. We call it the virtual twin experience of humans. The transformation will be innovation by and for the consumer patient. To arrive to this result, Dassault Systèmes did a lot of investment the past year with more than $8 billion, and we acquired several software. And the result now is here. The number one in market share in life science, more than 8,000 active customers in life science, and all top 10 CROs, contract research organizations, are customers also. And you can see some other figures.
Thank you, Nicolas. Good morning. My name is Sasha Mijailovic. I'm a managing director at GXP Consulting Switzerland. In a nutshell, our company is an operational consulting firm, highly specialized in life sciences, which provides solutions and high added value expertise all along the product lifecycle. We are focusing our activities on four main sectors, which are medical devices, pharmaceuticals, biotechnologies, and combination products. We are currently regularly working with more than 47 customers and have offices in Lausanne, our headquarters, Basel, and an affiliate in the UK close to London. As a consulting firm specialized in life sciences, we are the leader in the French-speaking part of Switzerland since more than 2 years. And we are a human-focused company, which pays a particular attention to both technical and soft skills of our consultants. And to accompany our customers within their digital transformation journey, we are establishing strategic partnerships such as the one we have with Zenith. So now, Nicolas, I give you back the lead.
Thank you, Sasha. Yes, why partnership between Zenith and GXP Consulting? To provide quick and accurate answer to our customers. Zenith design and build digital processes to help its clients, and GXP is providing high quality support with Frey in order to deliver safe and efficient products in life science industry. The combination of these two complementary levels of expertise is a driver for collaborative innovation and the performance booster.
Yes, indeed. As life sciences experts, we are focusing on some key core competencies all along the product lifecycle and are complementing our service offering with regards to digital transformation through this partnership with recognized experts such as Zenith, which has an extensive international experience in rolling out digital solutions. And I will now give the lead to my colleague Mathieu Beck, who will introduce you to some industry challenges with regards to planning and scheduling.
Thank you, Sasha. So good morning, everyone. My name is Mathieu Beck. I'm managing partner at GXP Consulting Switzerland. And I will try to summarize the situation that we are commonly or regularly facing while managing a production activity. So I apologize in advance for all the shortcuts that I will do, or the acronyms that I will use that could be slightly different from yours, as the goal this morning is not to be exhaustive in all the factors that could influence a manufacturing planning, or to present how to manage a planning, as each of your company has certainly its own with lots of specificities. If you can go ahead, Nicolas, thank you. So if we consider the manufacturing of product, whatever the product or the form is, either medical device or pharmaceutical product or biotech one, whatever the form is, solid or liquid or whatever, if we also consider the QC labs and the product development labs, all these entities have to at least one common objective, which is to plan at the best their activity while keeping some flexibility and agility to face the uncertainty, as it's multi-factor dependent. So if we consider the global planning approach, most of the time things starts with a strategic planning, as we have a product portfolio for which the management has agreed with the sale to sell, and of course to produce certain volumes of your flagships, specific volume of other products, and to keep enough bandwidth for new product that you will introduce in the market during the fiscal year. This is most of the time quite macro planning, but depending on the company, the level of details can vary from quite macro to quite detailed planning. And then you will receive the SNOP, and things start to become interesting, as you have to see how you will handle it with your resource planning. And so far, things could not be too complicated, and we can say that they could be managed quite easily to generate your master production scheduling. Okay, now the things could start to be a bit tricky when you consider your RCCP, the rough cut planning that allows you to verify that you have sufficient available capacities to meet the global demand and secure your master schedule. I remember in a previous life that we always had a lot of discussion at this stage because we have already some gaps, and because you have to deal with the forecast that could significantly impact your master production scheduler, and especially when the forecast changes every week and even several times per week. And I remember also a conversation I had with a customer in the quality control department in the medical field who was facing that situation many times a year, and the production team and the QC had to deal with a certain level of uncertainty and flexibility. So as the forecast changes, the demand changes too, and if you also have to consider the distribution constraint, now you have the full cake. So this is more or less how it happens and how it is managed. And finally, you can have a lot of questions that arise because of that situation. If you can move to the next slide, Nicolas, please. Thank you. So now, how could you deal with all these constraints and all parameters? Of course, you will have lots of questions coming to you, and you will have to address. But how can you address all these questions? So in summary, if we go to the next slide, Nicolas, this is roughly the as-is situation. You've got some data which are automatically generated, some data that are manually entered. You have perhaps a static planning or semi-static or semi-active planning. All these activities, all these situations are very time-consuming, can generate lots of errors because we are all human. Perhaps the tool or the solution that you are using are so a bit collaborative or not. And finally, dealing with all that constraint, all that parameters is very complex, and it does not allow you to easily assign the priorities and to take the right decision. So if you can go to the next slide, Nicolas, please. Thank you. So to summarize, if you have ever wondered where your production labs or facilities production or labs facilities, can bring you to, if you have immediate interrogation with regards to the situation and what could be the right decision to take with regard to your immediate manufacturing or control capacities, to consider the immediate impact of a late supplier, of a machine wreck, machine unavailability because the maintenance has taken some delays. If you want to reallocate manufacturing order to some other equipment or line, and finally, if you want to master the resilience of your manufacturing capacity, that's exactly what we're going to try to explain you in the current demo. So, Florent, I'll let you present the solution.
Thank you very much, Mathieu. So I will share my screen right now. So my name is Florent Boyer at Zenith Kearnis. I'm a business consultant dedicated for DELMIA Ortems planning and scheduling for pharmaceutical industries. So I'm going to talk about the solution itself, and we'll talk afterwards with a live demonstration. So let's talk about the solution itself with the optimizer engine that DELMIA Ortems has. So as Mathieu highlighted before, Ortems has 2 and 3 levels of planning, and Ortems is able to integrate the full supply chain solution from strategic and tactical, dealing with the master production schedule. Basically, we are going to load level the different capacities in order to take the right decision and take the uncertainty of the demand. Then we have a second engine, which is a scheduler engine. So it's more dealing about the short-term view, where you have to take into account many production constraints and to really react to a production hazard, such as machine breakdown. In complement to that, we have a third optimization engine, which is a flow synchronization engine. which is very useful for pharmaceutical industry, whereby we synchronize the different bill of material levels. So in a production environment, you have batches, so you're producing semi-finished product where you will distribute them to many finished product. So we need also to synchronize them in order to respond very quickly and easily to the customer demand. In addition to that, of course, we are integrated to many ERPs. I would say the most one, SAP, we have a dedicated certified connector with the latest version, SAP S/4HANA. And for that subject also, we renew for all the new versions every 3 years our certification with SAP. So let's talk now about what is a typically planner daily routine. How does it look like? So basically, when I'm a planner, at the top, you see how the journey begins. So it begins very early at 6 a.m., let's say, when the planner opens DELMIA Ortems. So he has the full view of the scheduling of the planning book for the machines. Then during the morning, many events happens, and it's where uncertainty moves forward. So let's say that at 7 a.m. There is a new people here interacting with me as the planner, who is a production manager, and this guy is actually telling me that there is a machine breakdown. So I need to react to that. 1 hour later, at 8 a.m., the quality issue happens. So the quality manager comes to me and calls me in order to react. It's not finished yet with our morning because you can see that there are many interactions for HR, for supply, if you have any supply delivery or urgent customer order. So these kind of scenarios typically are very daily routine for the planner. And with DELMIA Ortems, we have a decision-making tool, which means that at the end of the day, let's say here at midday, I will need to compare my different simulations because Ortems would show me planning and optimized planning, and then I need to take into account many constraints, many hazards in order to take the right decision. So that's why then, let's say at the beginning of the afternoon, I will save my planning book and distribute them to the workshop centers. So each machines will have the plan for the next days. Also during the day, of course, new customers orders can happen, and I will manage that directly with Ortems with the decision-making tool and what-if scenarios. So let's now jump directly into DELMIA Ortems solution. So I will make you a brief demonstration of Ortems in live for you. So welcome into Ortems. I will present to you typically for pharmaceutical industries how it looks like for production, for instance, where, for instance, here we are producing pills, so solid pills, where we have the first step of the fabrication, from the weighing of the powder to the compression of the pill. Then, of course, the pill has to be packaged into many boxes and languages where you have packing lines. The screen in the middle is showing to you what we call a machine gun chart. So basically, this machine gun chart is showing to you the optimized sequence of each production and plan orders that you have, and it's taking into account, of course, many production constraints in order to give you some visibility. Also, before showing to you some features, please be aware that the hatched area that you can see here are basically the machine shift where we don't work, for instance, during the weekend or 2-8 shift during the week. Let's now have a look at how Ortems is able to give you very easily the visibility about your production steps. So here, if I click on one production here, for instance, I will have the full view of the flows from my first step of my semi-finished product, so from the raw material, which is weighed, and then we go to the production steps with the routing, so from the mixing to the densification and so on, and then my semi-finished product, which is green here, will be packaged to my packing line here. So you can see directly that Ortems is taking into account many production constraints, such as routing precedence, but also BOM synchronization, where we are linking our batch of semi-finished product, your load size, with many packaged finished products. Okay, so this is very important also to manage that into a visible and clear plan. In Ortems also, we can easily also indicate what are the deadlines of the customers. If you see here, so my first here production of my batch is in green, and then I can see directly easily with the red arrow what are my customer order deadlines. So I can see here that I'm producing in advance because I'm producing some days before the deadline, so it's fine for this production order. But for this customer order, actually, we are producing a little bit late, right? So here, I will have an alert will show me that actually, if I change of color in Ortems, I will have a slight delay. You see here, this customer order is a bit late, so we have a yellow color. And of course, what is powerful with Ortems is directly to have a full view about my planning in one site. So here in one site, I can see where I have customer order delivery issues regarding the delivery date. If I take another example, this one will be a little bit late, if you see, because this compression machine is busy and it's taking quite a long time. And also I can see for how many days I would be late. So here for 1 day, for instance. So Ortems is a great decision-making tool. And of course, for pharmaceutical industries, we are also taking into account production campaign constraints, whereby you see here Ortems has grouped with each other similar production in order to be productive. You see this production is similar to this one because of the same product family and so on. So we are basically making campaign of production. Whenever we are changing of product family, you can see if I zoom a little bit in this planning, we can see that we have actually a changeover here because of the change of the campaign. Here we are changing of the type of product for Framin to Hepadex, so we have 4 hours of setup time here. Also for the packing lines, we could have some setup times from the format or from the product type, of course. So the deal of Ortems is to group similar production with each other in order to make great campaign of production. So of course it's dynamic. If we take one order and if we place it in the middle of a campaign, of course Ortems we recalculate dynamically the changeovers here to have an optimized plan. So this one is not really optimized. We have to place it a little bit before in order to make great campaign of productions. So the scheduler engine is before that taking into account your industrial strategy, where you can see key performance indicators at the top right. So you're basically looking at your service rate for your customer, but also optimizing the number of setup times and washing of the machines. So basically you will want to, of course, have the better service rate for your customer, 99% for example here, but also to be productive, so to have less changeovers. We can also monitor some costs here. So now let's go to a real life from a planner standpoint. So what happens? Of course, this is not really as easy as it is. We can have the best production plan, but then we have to simulate many events. Let's say that we have one big event that happens. Actually, my machine manager and my production manager calls me and there is a machine breakdown. So let's simulate that into Ortems. Before doing that, I'm going to show you a before and after color where all the planning is in green because nothing happened yet. Now, if I introduce a machine breakdown, let's say that my mixing machine number 2 is down for the following day. So for Monday, I will indicate right here a breakdown. If I do so here, you see directly the impact on my planning because of the machine breakdown. And you can see clearly that, of course, it has an impact on the line, the mixing machine number 2, but also on the other machines, because remember that our flows of production is quite complex. Okay, so it's how the planning has moved forward. And now, of course, the scheduler wants to know, what about my customer orders? Which customer orders were delayed because of my machine breakdown? So you can come back to this color in order to see that you have a little bit more orders that are late, and you can also monitor with this button the list of the work order and customer orders that are delayed because of the machine breakdown. Okay, and then you can take the decision to interact with the planning. Maybe you will want to manually drag and drop some production. So you want to know maybe if this product can go to another alternative machine. If I click on this product, have a look here, highlighted, I can see that this machine is available. So I can maybe choose to put it just on this machine manually. If a production is dedicated to one machine, as it is for pharmaceutical, customers, of course, when I click on this machine here, and this production is dedicated to one machine. So you can do it manually, but of course, we have a great scheduler engine where we can define some roles in order to get the best optimized plan if you have any priority from your customer orders, and minimizing the stock, for instance. So we will do so running the scheduler engine, and we will take the right priority in order to take into account the machine breakdown. Okay. So this is just a first view about how to make simulations. Of course, we can make many simulations, right? Let me show you another one as an example here. So what if we have a late supplier, okay? This production cannot be done on Monday, but will be done on, let's say, on Wednesday. So we have to postpone it from 2 days. If I do so, have a look here. Of course, I will postpone here my production. I can also use some post-its that we call markers in order to say, okay, I will have maybe an issue about my quality here. And I can directly indicate some comments here, quality issue number 001. So then you can see a pop-up window also that shows, all the post-its that I have in my planning in order to communicate with other people. So here I've indicated, right now the quality issue that I have, postponing the production from 2 days, and then I can rerun my scheduler engine because, as you can see here, we can fill the gaps with other priority and other customer orders. So let's rerun the scheduler engine and try to find the best solution, taking into account this new quality issue. And as you can see, very interestingly, it has prioritized other orders and changed the line because of the availability of the mixing machine number 1. At any time, you can monitor your key performance indicators, and the deal of that is to save many simulations. And when I'm saying that, is Ortems is a great and powerful tool, because here you can save as many simulations as you want. As you can see here, I have dozens of simulations, and you can compare them with key performance indicators. For instance, in a meeting with my manager and the director of the site of production, I can decide to choose the best fitted simulation regarding the best service rate and maybe the lowest setup time in order to be the more productive here. So you can see that this simulation Pluto is the one which is maybe the best fitted one that I will choose. Let me show you now in 2 minutes other possibilities also in Ortems in order to have a quick view about, right, we have our production plan, but now let's have a look at what are my material conceptions. What is my view about which material and component I will have like stock out item. So in one site in Ortems, it's very easy to get such information because in one planning here, I can see which production order here, for instance, in red, is responsible for a stock out item. So this one actually is in red. So it means that if I look at the screen below, I will see which critical raw material, for example, Hepatex, it's a powder, that will be stock out because we have an initial inventory, we got the consumption of the inventory from the production plan, and then we flag whenever we have a stock out. So here is very interesting because we can see directly there that it's a stock out item, and actually with the dark red color, we can see that it's a critical stock out. Because in addition to that, we also get from SAP and other ERPs the supplier lead time in order to know, are we within the supplier lead time? So is it critical or is it just a potential stock out? Okay, so maybe I will decide to postpone my order if I don't get any chance to have a discussion with my suppliers from 1 week to the other in order to don't get any stock outs for this item. Okay, and then I can rerun my scheduler engine to get answers, because as you can see here, the service rate is very low because of our supplier delay. Now let's finish with 2 things, some key takeaways. First of all, Ortems is a great simulation tool, and it's a collaborative simulation. As you can see at the very bottom of the screen, I have some notifications, and this notification is actually saying that multiple users, multiple collaborative planners can work at the same time on that planning. So basically here I can see that there is another collaborative user that is in real time working in Ortems and notifying to me as a planner that maybe there is something happening here, maybe is advising me that there is a machine breakdown. So I can accept that, this modification, maybe have a queue time for them, or maybe reject that. So if I accept this one, I will see directly my planning what would happen. Here, okay, it's saying to me, be careful because there is something happening with my machine. So we know directly in real time what would happen as a collaborative solution. To finish with this demonstration, I have many things to show you. Of course, if you want to get a dedicated demonstration, I will be pleased to discuss with you further, but have a look at this one. This one is a dispatch list. So it's where for each machine, so for example, for the mixing machine number 2, I have the list of each operation or work orders that I have to do precisely by order. So here, this one is like an Excel file where you see all the detail of what the operator has to do on his machine. Right, let's now go to the next session where we are going to get some key takeaways as a summary. Before talking about the financial return on investment pillars, just be aware that DELMIA Ortems project, if we have a project with you, is in average 6 months of project. The consulting service is about is just a solution consultant and project manager, and where we monitor also the change management with you in order to maybe remove your old-fashioned Excel files in order to implement DELMIA Ortems. Also be aware that the return on investments for such project is within a year. So it's actually less than one a year. And we can see that we have very significant return on investment, financially speaking. First of all, we meet better your customer due date. So we improve the customer service rate and the reliability and reactivity, which is key for also your strategic industrial indicators. Secondly, we drastically reduce the lead time of production. And also, as you saw before, because we synchronize production from semi-finished batches to productions of the finished product, we will for sure reduce the lead time of production. And as a consequence, we will be better to react to any production hazards, but also we will reduce the work in progress stocks. We will also, of course, as a consequence of that, reduce the raw material stocks because we will have a full visibility at finite capacity as well as for the finished product. Fourth, we will increase the productivity. As you saw here, we deal with production campaigns, so we basically improve our setup times, so reducing setup times, reducing washing of the machines, so a better utilization of the assets, which can be machine, of course, but also labor or different tooling, for example. Saving time is very important because you are spending a lot of time to build your planning, usually manually. So if we add more value in order to transform this time that you spend maybe with your Excel file building it, to take many simulation and to have a better visibility at scheduling standpoint, at master production standpoint, and at sales and operation planning standpoint. As I highlighted before, there are many return on investments. Of course, we have financial return on investments, reducing cycle time. So you have here some figures. Of course, we cannot win on all of them, cutting by half for some customers, reducing by a quarter the machine setup time, and so on. So you can see here some key financial return on investment, but also be aware that DELMIA Ortems is not just about financial, of course, return on investment. It's also strategic from your customer and supplier and for your market, but also for organizational standpoint, because with Ortems, we will get a better collaboration all around your supply chain, not only for the planner. Finally, I want to share with you some DELMIA Ortems references, of course, in life science as it is for today, but also be aware that Ortems is also a standard out-of-the-box solution that we implement from many years, from actually 30 years today, and we actually have the same solution for all industrial people. If you are in life science, consumer packaging good, healthcare, industrial equipment, cable industry, transportation, mobility, and aerospace and defense. So for life science, we have as well as big customers, of course, Sanofi and Merck, but also we have some smaller, of course, competitors where we are talking about the mid-market, of course. So as a conclusion of that, I will finish with why having a project with DELMIA Ortems. I would say that I can sum up that with 3 pillars. First of all, as you understood, Ortems is a full integrated supply chain solution, from the short-term scheduling to the mid and long-term master production schedule. Also, Ortems is a connected and certified with your ERP, meaning that, of course, we will deal with your ERP, connecting them to your ERP, and we have a solution which will be connected and certified for that. So it's quite important as well in order to implement that very easily. Last but not least, Ortems is also a great solution dedicated for pharmaceutical industry because we have pharmaceutical solution consultant expert and also a worldwide solution that can be implemented as a core model and duplicated with many rollouts. Okay, so now we can jump into the question and answer, please. So please feel free to use the chat box if you have any questions. We'll be pleased to answer to all of them if we could. So you can really type down this question and address them to us. Okay. I have a first question coming up, so I will answer to it, and feel free to of course, fill your questions on the way. The first question is to know, is Ortems dedicated to SAP or it can be connected to other ERPs? So of course, as I said before, Ortems can be interfaced with many ERPs. Actually, in the market, there are more than 150 ERPs. So it's not only dedicated to SAP, we have many customers with other ERP, and actually it's not really an issue. The main thing to consider for such project is also the quality of your data, and it's always a challenge for the customer, to work on his data, and it's a daily work to do, even if we get Ortems on a daily basis.
Okay. You have some question, Florent. I think example. Do you have some example of integration with Oracle?
Yes, sure. So from I guess it's Oracle ERP that we are talking about. So yes, we have.
So. Okay, and okay, some information about what are the parameters we can introduce. I don't know which parameter.
Okay, that's the question. I guess it's a parameter of changeovers. So basically, you can add any parameters as you want. If we are talking about changeover and washing of the machines, we have some customers that use many parameters. Can be the product family, can be the size of the product, the language if we are in the packing machines. So there are no limit on that. Of course, in Ortems, we will try to model the most relevant one because we are dealing with optimization.
Okay, there's also one question about the time to deploy the solution.
Right. So the time to deploy the solution, of course, depends on which maturity you are. But in average, an implementation is about 6 months. You also need to take into account that we also need, of course, your availability. So if you are not available, it could be a project of 9 months. And if you are really reactive and available for us, it can be in 4 months.
Okay, and the last question is also a question about the pricing of the solution. But I think that on this point, it depends of the of what they want to do. I think it's perhaps complicated to answer.
Of course, it's very complicated because it depends on the scope of what we want to do. Do we want to do all of it, MPS and SNOP and scheduling? Maybe that's a question that I can address if you want some more detail together in maybe the private session, so we can maybe discuss further about what do you really want, what is your maturity. Let's say it be maybe.
Okay. 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 Then also a question about perhaps the cloud offer. Is it a solution we can have on cloud or not?
So as for today, it is on premise. It is actually going to be on cloud with the 3D experience, but it's not yet commercialized, but it will come soon. So as for today, we go with on-premise installation on your server, or if you have any hosted server, and it will be soon on the cloud for the following years.
Okay. Okay, then I think we will stop now for the question and go directly to the hand. And please don't hesitate to contact us. I will give you our contact information at the end of the meeting. And for other questions, we can do a separate meeting. Thank you. And I take the lead again for this. And we can just. And I just want to give you some information about the next meeting. We have a future webinar in March. The date will be defined shortly. It will be, the subject will be on regulatory information management. It's of course, it's for life science. And it's a webinar, it's the same at 11 o'clock, and it will be also 1 hour. And also one important subject, it's at CNIT, we are doing an innovation day. It's the 23rd of March. And there's also inside the one pavilion for life science. And you will be able to see a lot of experiences, some interview of customers, and of course, some question about the ERP integration, some subject like also manufacturing simulation and so on will be covered. And we expect 1,000 registration. It's a worldwide event. It's due to the situation, it's a digital event. It's a virtual one, not of course an event like we can do when we did in the past. And you can also register on our website for this Innovation Day on 23rd. And now, thank you for your participation. Feel free to contact us for any question or additional information. On CNIT side, I'm Nicola Bilski. Here is my email address and phone number. On GXP side, Raoul Cortada is your contact. Thank you again, and I wish you a good appetite. Bye-bye.